Each Monster Hunter game can be beat in 1 week individually, but what if you could beat every game in that time? Today, I show you my attempt at getting to the credits in all the games and whether or not it's even possible to complete such a task. And in case anyone is wondering, I don't own any of the Gen 1 titles, nor will I do this in Generations since GU exists. Alright, so this is my plan that I have laid out for this challenge. So on Sunday, I'm gonna start with 1 to 2 star low rank key quests and then do the urgents for them. Monday, 3 to 4. Tuesday, 5 to 6 star key quests for low rank as well as the urgents, aka the final bosses of some of these games. Wednesday is when I'm gonna start doing the high rank portion of this challenge. On Thursday, 3 to 4 star. And then on Friday, 5 to 6 or even 7 star keys and urgents depending on the game. And on Saturday, I plan on finishing up the games so that they can be done before the week is over. After planning my strategy, I got underway. Starting Sunday, I did Freedom Unite and completed the 1-star quest and destroyed the Gaiadrome Urgent with ease. Then I completed the 2-star quest, which led me to Kongalala, which kicked my butt for a butt-ugly monkey. Then I had a big dilemma that took up most of the day, which wasted so much time for this run. After that whole fiasco, I completed the 1-star key quest in Portable 3rd, beat the Urgent, completed more key quests, and then beat the Kurapeko Urgent. Yes, I'm doing each game out of chronological order. I know! Then I started Try, and wow, this was a slow start. Before I could even get to the quests, I had to do a lengthy tutorial section in the Moga Woods. After that though, I was only able to complete a handful of quests until I got exhausted and slept for the night. You can probably tell that this isn't going according to plan. On Monday, I finished up with the key quests and urgents before moving on to 3 ultimates. Before I even started the key quests, I did an event that gave materials for a special gun lance called the Baron's Blazon. This weapon is overpowered in low rank, so it would soon come in handy. Everything else I did and Try was pretty much the same for 3U with only a few exceptions. Then it was on to 4 Ultimate, and this was one of the easier games for me to make progress in because of Charge Blade. I did all of the 1-star keys before doing the Celtis Urgent. Then I did all the 2-star keys and hunt 2 monsters in the Everwood, which aren't technically quests, but they are required to progress. After beating the Kechawacha Urgent, Generations Ultimate was next, and it was harder to get things going here since the armor you start with is significantly worse than the starter armors in other games. This certainly became evident when doing the Great Mac Urgent quest. Then after that, I had to do other quests for all the villages since they trigger all the Fated 4 quests. Which, by the way, the Chronicle page doesn't exactly make that clear considering they're required to progress. Anyway, after doing all those tasks, I beat the Tetsukapa Urgent and then move on to Monster Hunter World. This is honestly one of the fastest games to make any real progress. I did all the assignments up to Puke Puke and already moved on to Monster Hunter Rise, which was an even faster game to make progress in. The big advantage is getting to choose some of the key quests which made progression a cakewalk. After beating the Urgent for Aknosom, it was time to rest for the night. On Tuesday, I changed my strategy a bit since my original plan was taking too long. Plan B was to beat the easiest games first. So with that in mind, I beat Rise in less than a day and got the credits rolling. Yeah, not joking. The village quests in Rise are that easy. Next was World, which was the second easiest game to tackle. In about 5 hours, I beat the low rank portion, though I didn't want to keep going just yet as not to get exhausted. So I moved on to 3U, which was the next easiest game since I have the Baron's Blazon gun lance, which made just about every quest an easy sweep up until I needed to grab materials for a mandatory village request. On Wednesday, I delivered the goods and continued to sweep every quest in 3U and even beat the low rank final boss, which triggered the credit. Hold on a second. Hello? What's that? What do you mean 3U's credits don't trigger after beating Sadis? Yep. For some reason, I thought beating Sadis triggers the credits after beating Moga Village. Turns out, like every other G-rank expansion, you have to beat the high rank portion to get the credits to roll. I still had Try to finish as well, and this challenge was starting to get to me. I had only 3 days left to complete all the other games, and only a couple of them were halfway done. And every quest I did usually took around 4 to 10 minutes to beat. That, and I couldn't just spend every single hour of my life just pushing through every game for the remainder of the week. I would turn to Play-Doh if I did that. I had to use my time sparingly as to not compromise my own health, and during this challenge, I would take breaks as well. So I spent most of the day working on World and 4U. I beat World first, which triggered the credits, and then beat 4U's low rank. After that, I continued to work on GU and was only able to complete a few 3-star keys before heading off for the night. On Thursday, I was able to get far enough in GU and beat low rank. This took most of the day since GU had many key quests, especially the Fated 4 ones to get through. When Friday came around, I worked more on Portable 3rd. This took me a bit since I was using Jaggy armor, but I was able to get to Zinogre pretty fast. And even though this fight was difficult for me, and you guys know how it is with me in Zinogre, I managed to beat it and even triggered the credits, which was a pleasant surprise since I never actually beat this game before. before. After that, I worked on tries since I figured this game was going to be another easy one to complete, but oh, I was so wrong. You see, after beating all the key quests up to 5 stars, I was at a dilemma. I forgot that I needed materials for a village request that's required in order to progress. I did have the same problem in 3U, but I had the Baron's Blazon, which made breaking the wings easier, thus getting the talons faster. But in Try, I was hunting Alatreon a lot, and even though I broke the wings every time, which was hard to do with hammer by the way, I still never got the last talon I needed. I got one from Rathalos before, but I wanted to hunt Rathian because in theory, I'd get the talents faster because of how easy she is. But I kept getting screwed over by RNG to the point where I decided to sleep on it until the last day. Saturday came around and I still wasn't getting the talent I needed to make progress. I got so tense that I ended up losing all patience I had and quit the challenge. This was a moment that broke me, perhaps more than any other challenge because I was on a tight timer. The week had ended and all the other games were only halfway done. I couldn't handle it anymore. And that brings me to this point. So it's been about a week since I started this challenge and I have to say, it's been painful. The only Monster Hunter games I was able to complete are Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter Rise, and Monster Hunter Portable 3rd before the end of the week. And I was so close to getting Try done, but unfortunately, the RNG was just so bad with me that it did not want me to get the last Wrath talent I needed to beat the game. And to be honest, guys, even if I did have the last talent I needed, there was no way I was gonna beat every single game before the week ended. But there is something I have to tell you because I'm not being completely honest. If it was possible to beat every single game within 1 week, I wasn't going to just do every mainline game. I was actually gonna do 2 more. Those games being Monster Hunter Stories 1 and Monster Hunter Stories 2, being games that I would try to complete in addition to this so that this would be a plot twist. But this is hardly a plot twist because I never actually started those games. This was probably the hardest and least possible challenge that I could ever do, but if you guys want to see some other challenges I did for every game, the playlist is right here.